Rachel was a typical suburban teenager. She had just finished her freshman year of high school, and it was time for summer camp. She was excited to get away from the monotony of the school year and explore the wilderness with her friends. Little did she know that something sinister was lurking in the woods surrounding the camp. Rachel and her friends had arrived at the camp on a warm summer day. Everything seemed normal at first, but as the sun set and darkness fell, strange things started to happen. The camp counselors were acting strangely, the campfires seemed to ignite spontaneously, and strange noises could be heard in the woods. Rachel and her friends were left feeling uneasy, but they shrugged it off as their imaginations running wild. The next day the strange occurrences continued. Rachel and her friends were walking along the camp trail when they noticed a strange fog coming in from the woods. As the fog got closer, they heard a strange humming noise. When the fog cleared, they noticed a figure standing in the woods. It was an old woman with long white hair and a hooded cloak. She waved them forward and beckoned them to follow her into the woods. Rachel and her friends were scared and hesitant, but curiosity got the better of them. They followed the old woman into the woods, and as they walked, strange things began to happen. The trees seemed to come alive, the sky changed colors, and the birds and animals seemed to be acting strangely. Rachel and her friends were terrified, but they kept going, determined to find out what was happening. When they finally reached a clearing, they saw a large stone circle with candles lit around it. The old woman was standing in the middle of the circle, and she beckoned them to come closer. Rachel and her friends were too scared to move, but the old woman spoke in a gentle voice and assured them they would be safe. The old woman began to explain that she was a witch and she was the one responsible for all the strange occurrences. She told them that the camp was built on an ancient site of magical power and that she was using it to cast spells and create powerful enchantments. Rachel and her friends were terrified and wanted to leave, but the old woman said she needed their help to finish her spell. Rachel and her friends reluctantly agreed to help the old witch. For the next few days, they helped her gather ingredients for her spells and cast powerful enchantments. As the witch's powers grew, the strange occurrences at the camp intensified. The camp counselors were acting even stranger, the campfires seemed to ignite spontaneously, and strange noises could be heard in the woods. Rachel and her friends were scared, but the old witch assured them that everything would be all right. Finally, the witch was finished with her spell. She thanked Rachel and her friends for their help and said that they could leave now. As they were walking away, they heard a loud boom and saw a bright light coming from the woods. Rachel and her friends ran back to the camp, and when they arrived, they noticed that all the strange occurrences had stopped. The next morning, Rachel and her friends awoke to find that the camp was back to normal. The camp counselors were acting normally, the campfires were put out, and the strange noises had stopped. Rachel and her friends were relieved, but they never spoke of the strange events again. Moral of the story. The moral of the story is that sometimes things aren't always what they seem. What looks like a normal summer camp may be hiding something sinister beneath the surface. No matter how scared we may be, we should never be afraid to ask questions and seek out the truth.